Welcome to Game Day View, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Patrick Claybon, glad to be here with Greg Rosenthal and Cynthia Freeland. As we are in Week 13, we've made it, guys.
Lucky Week 13.
What do you mean we made it? We've got so much more to go. We haven't made anything.
We've made it here to this point, and we're all together.
Today.
We're here with you.
That feels good.
Let's check out the standings through Week 12. And yes, a crown does remain upon the head of one Greg Rosenthal, who leads us collectively by 2, though, Greg. It's getting a little tight. Are you concerned?
By one to you. I see you, Patrick. I've been so focused on the model here. Patrick's making these crazy picks, and here he snuck up into something.
I mean, yeah, I love it.
Maybe the scores
Not
on the
how
board.
we start, it's how we finish. We got to figure it out.
The picks might not be crazy. The 49ers-Eagles game of the week, in case you forgot. These teams played last season in the NFC Championship game.
Two best teams in the NFC are about to collide
here at the link. 49ers and the Eagles
for the right to head to Super Bowl 57. The NFC Championship is moments away.
Clock has been ticking, our time is up. We're ready to fight, go ahead, line them up. Set up the Rockets, let's light them up.
Brock Purdy has been taken out of the game. You have to play the title game without a quarterback?
We had him. It's time to never give in. It's not time to quit. It's time to fight to the end. It comes down to this. It's time to never give in.
The Philadelphia Eagles have won the NFC Championship, and they are heading to Super Bowl 57.
Time for the Drive to Excellence, presented by Mercedes-Benz. 49ers, Eagles at the link. Top 2 teams in the NFC. Brock Purdy has a functional elbow going into the game. The Eagles underdogs, despite being at home and being 10-1 with the best record in the league. These teams do not like each other. Back and forth on social media. What do you see, Greg?
I see a team in the 49ers that has a lot of extra rest. Rest is important, isn't it? Like, if you get a good night's sleep the night before, I have a better game day view. The 49ers have 4 extra days, while the Eagles last Sunday and their defensive players were on the field longer than they've ever been on the field. I think this matters. 98 snaps for their defensive back last week. More than 30 more than the 49ers had on their Thursday night game. Josh Sweat, career high in snaps. Over 80 last week. Hassan Reddick, 75 snaps. 15 more than any time with the Eagles. These are all like exponentially more than any other game they played. The same is true for Jordan Davis. Meanwhile, look at the 49ers. This is all they were doing last week. They were celebrating. That was the most energy they spent against Seattle. It was 30 snaps, 40 snaps. The defensive line was chilling. In a game where I think the two teams are very even, I really do believe the schedule in terms of the Eagles coming off 2 very difficult games, especially one that went to overtime, the extra rest for the 49ers. That's enough for me to pick them in this game.
I, too, have the 49ers, but I have a much closer margin, just 2 points, 25-23 for me. The Eagles do have luck on their side, but Brock Purdy and his good elbow, the play-action passing should be good, especially on intermediate routes to Deebo Samuel. There seems to be a Deebo Samuel-sized hole in the middle back of that secondary. Now, when I'm looking at the play-action situation for Brock Purdy, 77.1% completion percentage and 8 touchdowns. Those are either first or tied for first. And then look at the defense, just a 47.3 success allowed. So that's a high number. That's the 9th lowest. Like, they're going to have a good chance here to just see that Deebo end zone. Oh, there we go.
Well, he called James Bradbury trash, so he's going to be extra fired up.
There's a lot of like back and forth both ways there. Like,
and I think we can, especially the way that I feel, we can get rid of all that. These are 2 very good teams.
Yes.
I think they're both going to try hard. Breaking news there. I will take the 10-1 team that is playing at home in the Philadelphia Eagles. And let's look back to that revenge game for the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, of course, it helps to have a quarterback that can throw the ball past 10 yards. But the Eagles ran the ball 48 times in that game. Yes, it got out of hand late, and that changes the script. But I believe the addition of DeAndre Swift makes this run game better than when they went to the Super Bowl a year ago. The 49ers don't necessarily constantly face teams that are capable of running the ball against them. This Eagles team can, and that's why I'm comfortable picking the Eagles by a point, 25-24.
I'm glad that we aren't all the same on this one, because this one just feels like it should have some level of us disagreeing. If we would have been completely a meme alert across, I mean, it'd be good for our standings because then we either kind of win or die together. But I don't know. I think it's more fair, more
It's
accurate.
even better, though, if Patrick's wrong and we're right.
That's right. That's how we gain up.
for
That's
you
how we
guys.
gain
But
a
again,
game.
look at the scores. Always look at the scores. It's not like we think like, oh, this team's bad. Let's move on to C.J. Stroud. And the Texans, who just came up short last week against the Jags, but the rookie quarterback has been must-see TV all season long.
The Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud.
Pure natural thrower.
I bring a leader. I bring me.
CJ firing downfield to his right. Tag down to the house. CJ Stroud with more magic. CJ looking, throwing to the end zone. Caught, touchdown. Are you kidding?
Stroud has got 6. He's in for the touchdown.
And he has 3 interceptions in this game.
Steph Curry don't ever stop shooting.
What a throw by Stroud.
I don't got no shame in my game. I'm keeping letting it ride.
The rookie phenom and the Texans playing host to the Broncos. Both teams at 6-5, both fighting for a playoff spot. Denver has won 5 straight. Do they get to 6, Greg?
I can't believe I'm picking the Broncos to win 6 straight, but I am 27-23, and it's because of their defense. And I look at C.J. Stroud. They ask him to do so much, whereas Russell Wilson has a better defense on his side. This defense has forced 17 turnovers since week 6. Since that week, when they turned it around on Thursday Night Football, they are 7th in the league in EPA per play allowed, and it's a lot of the pass rush. I feel like these guys don't get a lot of pop, but Jonathan Cooper's been playing well. Nick Bonito's been playing well. Zach Allen was a nice free agent.
You didn't even
signing.
say Brandon Browning. That's like the best one. That's the strong.
He was 4th on my list,
That's
Baron
the strong-
Browning. I just love him. And I look at him against this
Yeah,
Texans
I
offensive
get
line,
it.
and they're good, but I think it's a team game, and I think the Texans are like more about one guy in their passing game, whereas the Broncos are a better team.
I'm glad we could get you on board on this Denver Broncos defense that hasn't allowed a receiver to have more than 75 yards since week 5. And yes, they index on pass defense. It's working, but I am taking the Broncos because of Russell Wilson. Let's ride, everybody. He has the most game-winning drives and fourth quarter comebacks in the entire league, as well as the best touchdown to interception ratio. He is playing safe, but it's very effective. Like, look at these touchdown passes that he's throwing where only the receiver could get it. He had this one, which was just incredible on both his and Cortland Sutton's parts. But then the one last week over on the other sideline, it's just been very good, and I just want to celebrate Russ, considering all of the heat that he was taking last year. He was playing great football.
Well, I guess I get a prime number here, and I get a prime number on the team that's favored. Okay.
Maybe by 3.5 too.
Whatever, I'll take it. I have a 3-point win for the Houston Texans, 24-21 in this matchup. You talk about the Broncos defense causing turnovers. How do you not turn over the ball? Run the football. And you know what you've seen over the past few weeks? You've seen Devin Singletary really take this huge step forward. Obviously, when Pierce was injured, that's when he got his time to shine, and he really hasn't relinquished it now that they're both there. When I'm looking at the opportunity, even taking out that 70 burger that Miami put out on top of them, your yards over expected on runs allowed by the defense, even with all those good players, even with everyone we just remember, it's like 40%. So that's a high number, one of the highest in the league. So I think their run game.
I mean, bad run defense.
That's how
the Texans haven't been able to run against just about anybody. Come on.
It's one of those things. It's moving forward. People are seeing
I like
more
that you
from
talk a little trash there, Greg.
Yeah,
You know?
Greg's getting a little itchy. People expect points in this one. This one has one of the highest over-unders of the week. Looking at the rest, people are expecting boatloads of points, but not quite 50 between the Miami Dolphins and the Commanders. There's the game we just discussed, the Lions and the Saints, and then the championship game rematch. But let's focus on the Lions and Saints. Expected to be a high-scoring game, as is tradition. Cynthia's hometown Lions kind of didn't have the success that she wanted on Thanksgiving, losing to the Packers. Will they bounce back, Cynthia?
Read what that actually says that you wrote. You didn't say lost, got waxed.
I didn't want to say that.
But it's true. And why? Because the pass defense looked not so good, as in terrible. When I'm looking at the opportunity in this game, it's going to be different. I'll tell you why in a second. But I do want to point out my Lions are really letting me down. Over the past 4 weeks, their pass defense has been pretty abysmal. So is their run defense. Let's just put it that way. They're like 28th in the league on defense. And Jordan Love was out here looking like the third coming of a great Packers all MVP in a row, which would just be sickening for everyone else in the NFC North. But I do have the Lions winning in this game, 26-23.
There's a lot of negativity for a Lions win here.
I call it like I see it, and that defense needs a little help.
You know, their defense struggling is one reason why, like, I'm going to give you a free write this down. I maybe should save it for later, but the points in this game are going to be much higher than 46.5. I got the Lions winning 31-27. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 38-30, something like that. And the only reason it'll be a little lower and why I have the Lions winning and by more than 4.5 is because the Saints kick a lot of field goals. Derek Carr has been struggling in the red zone now for a few years. Really throughout his career, it hasn't been a strength of his. But this year, and last specifically, if you look at his throws inside the 10-yard line, he is under 30% completion. There is no other qualifier, with more than 20 attempts within 10 or 15% of him. The next closest quarterback in terms of low completion percentage is Matt Ryan, who may be calling this game. I don't even know what's going on. This Lions defense.
I think it's NFC, so it's Fox.
They're gonna bounce. Yeah, it won't be Matt Ryan.
No.
They're gonna bounce back, and I know Patrick, you don't like to say, okay, we know the Lions are gonna try harder here, but. Do you believe in vibes? Because the Lions' vibes coming off a loss, needing the win, they're just going to be so much better than these Saints vibes where the boos are there and things aren't great.
Well, yeah, both teams coming off of losses with the vibes and New Orleans. We've charted them as the season has gone on and on. Motivation factor, I do wish we had the CJ-GJ revenge game, but we don't. He did post perhaps a comeback date, December 20th this week. So
you love to hear it, you know.
The Lions need help on defense. I don't think they need it this week because the Lions can put too much speed on the field for a Saints team that, of course, plays a lot of nickels. 2023, everybody's in the nickel a whole bunch. But they're one of those teams that might not prefer to. They're in 4-3 about 20% of the time. They don't have a linebacker. Nobody does. They could run with Jahmyr Gibbs. The safeties are going to have issues with Gibbs in coverage as well. Considering New Orleans is number 30 against runs from the shotgun, I think this might get bad. I have Detroit winning 34-21. Coming up, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs going to Lambeau for a huge Sunday night game. Is anyone bold enough to take the Packers here? One person is.
Wow.
Ooh.
We'll tell you who.
That's a tease right there.
Next on Game Day View.
NFL Game Day View is presented by Mercedes-Benz and the Holiday Love Celebration. Wherever home is, get there safely this season.
Motion by Kraft to the left, snap to Love, lost the left side of the end zone, over the shoulder, catch, touchdown, Christian Watson. Yes, they make the Lions pay.
It's time for Pizza pregame predictions delivered by Little Caesars, Chiefs, Packers, and Sunday night in Lambeau. You might want to hot and ready warm up for that one. Kansas City, currently the 2 seed in the AFC. The Packers fighting for a wild card spot. Do they fight and get closer to the wild card, Cynthia?
No. Well, I mean, they get closer. I don't think it's definitely plausible for them to make it, but this isn't the week where that scale really tips in their favor. I have the Chiefs winning this one 25-20, maybe a little bit closer than expected. But I want to show you something about these Rashee Rice crossing routes from last week. They're simple. That's it.
Yes.
Right? They're not doing anything crazy. They're not trying to ask him to go so deep that you're really airing it out where Patrick Mahomes is rifling it to you at 60-something miles per hour. We saw that from another quarterback. Didn't go so well, right? So when you're trying to get things back into a rhythm, intermediate crossing routes, really a good plan for them. And it worked, especially when you look at this Packers injury report. I don't know if Jair Alexander will play. He's still on it as of Friday. There's also a litany of other guys that are missing. And by the way, Rasul Douglas, he's now a Bill. So they're missing pieces in the secondary. And while the front is really good, I still think Patrick Mahomes and that O-line has an advantage.
Yeah, we have a lot of similarities this week. And one is that the Chiefs will win this game, but not by 6 points. I only have it as 1 point. I feel stronger that the Packers keep it close than I do either way winning, but I just didn't have the guts to do it. Maybe I should because Jordan Love is playing outstanding. No, I'm not going
Switch it.
I'm not taking this big underdog. Jordan Love's eyes are amazing. It's one of the things you want to look for in a young quarterback. I don't mean like you're looking into his eyes and they're like soulful and green or anything like that. I mean, you can tell he's looking at the right receivers at the right times and going through his progression, and it's pretty quick. And that's one of the things that you look for, because you see throws like this and you know he can do the extra stuff. He's got the big time throws. He's got the eyes. That shows me he's going to have a long career in big games like this. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch Jordan Love playing in a big game. Can't wait for you guys to pick him. I will. I'll pick him right here against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a 1-point win for me. We're barking 25 to 24, the home team, because they are playing at home. It's going to be juiced up. And I know it's like, well, does that matter? Maybe it does. But the team itself is playing well. I hope Jaden Reed, questionable coming into this game, I hope he's able to play. But the past 5 weeks, Jordan Love has the past couple of weeks, 5 touchdowns, no picks for Jordan Love. And Reed, in terms of these rookie receivers, we talk about Tank Dell, we can talk about Zay Flowers. Jaden Reed is one of the rookie receivers who's leading his team in receiving yards. He's playing spectacularly. I've got the Packers.
Are you sure you don't want to switch it so that I can have Patrick Mahomes all by myself again?
I am with you on Jaden Reed over Rashee Rice. How about that?
Yeah, the full route tree. Maybe that's why a certain Raiders corner was no longer on the team after all those crossing routes. Moving on. I don't know, but Sean McVay has the Rams in playoff contention.
Play fake, boot left. Stafford flips his hips, fires to the flat, caught. It's Higbee. He goes in for his first touchdown this season. The snap, back to throw. Slides the pocket, slings one back of the end zone. It's Higbee again! It's a screen left, kick out block. Kyron has it. 15, 10, 5, leaping into the end zone, untouched! Back to throw. Stafford lobs it, left side, end zone, caught! Touchdown, Kyron Williams! Touchdown, LA!
After scoring a bajillion points against the Cardinals, the Rams play host to the Browns at SoFi Stadium right over there. Both teams alive in the race for the playoffs. DTR is out. We're going to get Joe Flacco. How do you feel about this matchup, Greg?
I mean, I love personally having Joe Flacco back in my life, and I like the Browns to keep it close, but I like the Rams to win it in part because they've totally transformed their run game under Sean McVay. Think about what they're doing this year in the run game. It's all about duo. I'm not the film guy. But duo's pretty obvious what it means. It means 2 guys on 1. It's power running. It's using your tight ends and sometimes these wide receivers to get a double team and run the ball downhill. And that's the opposite of what Sean McVay used to do with his zone blocking scheme. And it's really working against these lightweight defenses, kind of like the Browns, who are incredible, but you don't really want to throw the ball against them. You'd rather run the ball against them, and I think that's what the Rams will do in a fun game.
It's like an inverse Todd Gurley, right? With all those screen passes. Now they've completely changed it to power. I, too, have the Rams winning this one. I have a little bit bigger margin than you, though. I have 24-19, so a 5-point win. I will say that one of the ways that we will see the Browns attack this defense is to run the football. Why? Because if you look at where the Rams rank in terms of EPA allowed on the ground, it's 28th. That's an area to exploit, especially since Jerome Ford has more than 200 yards after contact over his past 4 games. So if they're going to upset the Rams, or if they're going to buck the trend of what you and I are both saying, it will probably be because they get the run game down really well.
Maybe get Joe Flacco out there on the edge with some
I don't need to. Can you imagine Joe Flacco? We get like a next-gen stats of how easy.
I mean, you guys have both picked the Rams here, but I have some information coming in. It's from Browns receiver Amari Cooper regarding one Joe Flacco that may change these folks' minds.
He looks good. He throws a very pretty ball. I don't know if it's intentional or what, but when he drops back and he lets it go, the whole motion is like poetry in motion. It looks good.
It's like poetry in motion.
I mean, he's not wrong. First of all, great hair, Joe Flacco. Yeah. And I think back to the Super Bowl. I don't know why I'm talking right now. That Super Bowl performance against the 49ers, I've never seen a ball move through the air like prettier than Joe Flacco threw it on that night to win the Super Bowl.
Poetry in motion, a Super Bowl champion. I believe in Joe Flacco.
Yeah?
That he exists.
Yeah?
I'm taking the Rams as well. 23-18, meme away. Despite how beautiful the ball flies through the air.
Poetry in motion, but not a win.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask of Joe Flacco to come back and get this win. Coming up, Aaron Rodgers is back, kinda. The Jets need to stay in the playoff race for Rodgers to return. Can they pull off a win Sunday against the Falcons? Our picks for that game next on Game Day View.
Want to see where your team ranks? Just tell Siri. Show me the football standings.
Believe it or not, we might actually see Aaron Rodgers back on the field, the practice field, at least this season. The Jets quarterback was cleared Wednesday to return to practice 11 weeks after tearing his Achilles gangrene, opening that 21-day window to be activated off injured reserve. He did say this week, as the Jets play the Falcons, the only way he returns is if the team is in the playoffs. Do the Jets give him hope this week, Greg?
No hope for Jets fans. That's what happens in December. It's been like that ever since Robert Saleh showed up. The Falcons are going to win this game. I have it as 20-12, 4 field goals for the Jets. But it's the Falcons offense that got me feeling a certain way last week. Maybe we can have a fun NFC South team this season. Because when I saw how their outside zone was working, I thought, wow, this reminds me of the 2022 Falcons. They were all cohesive. Caleb McGarry, Chris Lindstrom up front,
Caleb
big
McGarry
holes.
so well.
You're right. They all looked great, and maybe I thought Arthur Smith got back in the lab during their bye week, and they tightened the bolts, and they fixed what had been going wrong all year, which is they've just been a terrible run-blocking team, because if they can do that, they can at least be the best team in the NFC South, and they can beat a bad Jets team.
And they were able to get that win over the Saints with just 13 completions from Desmond Ridder. But he did make some plays last week. He had the interception. There was another slip up to the Honey Badger. But he had the ball that was ripped down the field to Drake London right there. Great catch. He lofted that touchdown to Bijan Robinson. I think there's some spots.
Cool.
Well, it wasn't that touchdown.
Cool.
This is the one. Where he's lofting
That was pretty.
to Bijan Robinson. He struggled this year when he's trying to do too much. I think a reserved and a restrained Dez beats the Jets this week. My score 19-13.
Well, the model made me feel a little something this week because I picked the Jets, 19-18.
Shout out to the model.
And sometimes I question myself and my own sanity, and this thing has become sentient. But I don't know what's going on. No, look. The reality is when I'm looking at the opportunity in this matchup, Aaron Rodgers being back signifies one thing, that they're not giving up yet. And when I look at the opportunities for Breece Hall, for the guys that are going to catch some passes, do I believe that Tim Boyle is a great quarterback? But I do think that this Jets defense is awesome, and they do deserve some respect, and I think that that's what the model is here. This year is a defensive year. We've had so few games that are even projected to be more than 50 points. Like 10 times have games been projected to be more than 50 points this whole season. So I believe this is just a lot of respect to the defense.
Or it's the football gods
And it's
messing
sentient.
with the model and saying, no, you don't deserve to have the Texans as a prime number here.
Or we've reached the singularity, and the model is now alive. I don't know.
The model's just in solidarity with Greg and I. It's time for Quick Picks, presented by Zillow. Panthers and Bucks. Carolina fired Frank Reich earlier this week. Chris Tabor named interim coach. Who's winning this one, Greg?
I like the Bucks, although I think the Panthers get that, fired coach principle bounce and keep it close. But I want to talk about Mike Evans because this guy is getting better with age. What a contract year Mike Evans is having. And unlike most contract years, I actually think he could change teams. It would be a shame to see after he racked up 1,000-yard season after 1,000-yard season for the Bucks, one of my favorite streaks in sports. He could break 1,000 this week with 150 yards. He's on pace for more than 1,300 yards. It would be his best season since 2018. Still getting it done, Mike Evans. Love it.
Yeah, shout out to Mike. Bengals and Jags on Monday night. Jags winning 2 in a row. Cynthia, any chance Jake Browning and the Bengals can get the upset?
There's always a chance. I just don't think that it's going to happen in this matchup. However, I do want to point out that Cam Taylor-Britt, who hasn't been playing and isn't going to play in this one, it doesn't seem, This guy has been excellent all season long. This corner has taken a really big step forward, and in honor of it being Big Ten championship week.
There
and he went to Nebraska. That's a Big Ten school. We're going to talk about how he's taken a massive step forward this season, and he will come back next season and be a part of a very improved situation for the Bengals all around, but needed to get some Cam Taylor-Britt love in the show.
Yeah, feel better, Bengals fans. We'll show you all the players you're missing every week for the rest of the season.
Well,
They're great.
And you'll get good draft picks. Like, this isn't a bad thing if you're a Bengals fan.
Yeah. Every cloud has a silver lining. I think Kyler Murray and the Cardinals going to Pittsburgh take on the Steelers. I've got Mike Tomlin's squad yet again sneaking out a win in this one, 21-20. And coming into last week, Pat Freiermuth had a total of 3 targets within 2 yards of the hashes. He had 5 alone last week. They've discovered the fact that the rest of the field exists, and that slight adjustment is enough to give me the win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're all in unison on all of these quick picks. And coming up, we're talking fringe playoff teams. Who's going to sneak into the postseason? Whose bubble is set to burst? Our answers coming your way next on Game Day View.
You want to know what time it is? Time to play some football. Woo! Let's go!
It's right here, baby. They can't stop us.
I was stiff arming down while I was running.
The jerseys are stretchy as but the pants, not so much. Let's go finish this game, Kels. I'm glad you saw it. I didn't know if you were going to do it. Hat trick. Hat trick. You want more? Come on, keep going. Are you not entertained?
Oh, we are entertained, Stefan, as we look at the AFC playoff picture with the Ravens on a bye. You want to talk logjam? There's perhaps a chance at the end of this week we could have 4 teams at 9-3 at the top at the start of Week 14 as we get to the look at some of those teams in the hunt. Let's talk about some of these fringe playoff teams and what we think is actually going to happen. We start with the 6-5 Texans, who sit just outside a wild card spot right now. Cynthia, is Houston going to make the playoffs?
Yes, they are going to make the playoffs. If they win this week against the Broncos, which I'm the only one that thinks that they will, it'll go up to 74% their odds of making the playoffs, which is a very high number. When I'm looking, we talk a lot about Tank Dell. You know that? But you know who else we need to talk about? A Michigan man, Nico Collins. Again, his former team's actually playing for the Big Ten championship.
Wow.
But Nico Collins, if he has 169 receiving yards over expected, which is number 7 in the league, and he's number 4 in yards after the catch over expected, which means he's very good. And he's also adding to their whole team. And it's not just Tank Dell. We love Tank Dell, but we also love Nico Collins.
Okay, I don't know. You kind of spoiled it. I mean, it's definitely a yes for me. We're a Texans-friendly show here. And I am going to talk about Tank Dell because, look, this tandem, this trio, the tandem being Nico Collins and Tank Dell, the trio adding C.J. Stroud, is as good as any young group in the league. Texans fans can be celebrating because every week on this show, I say, however good you think Tank Dell is,
he's better.
He's actually better. And every week he just tops himself. He very well might be the best rookie receiver in the league, over Jordan Addison, over Puka Nacua, over everybody.
Over Puka.
It's Tanka. It's
Tanka.
Tanka.
Tank time.
Yeah. Why not? They're all good.
Pound for pound, he most certainly is.
Yes.
And I also think the Houston Texans are going to be going to the playoffs because, well, they are a functional team with a good offense and a solid defense, but you can't discard the fact that other people might have to not make the playoffs. And the fact that the Buffalo Bills had every opportunity, especially late, to knock off the Eagles in that win in what could have been the best game we've seen all season long. The fact that they came up short, the road becomes a little bit more difficult to them. And you're looking at the remaining schedule and who the challengers are. I think the fact that the Bills lose that game means the doors.
Don't rub salt in the wounds. This would have been my best pick of the year was the Bills. This is the only reason you guys caught up was this disastrous.
Well, I mean, they're
breaking my heart.
All the games are cumulative. Well, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. Over there, we do see those Eagles who play those 49ers at the top. But let's look at that in the hunt graphic because we have a mixture of teams, including the Green Bay Packers, who are currently just outside of the wild card. They have won 2 games in a row. Greg Rosenthal, do the Green Bay Packers make it to the postseason?
Well, this beautiful glove here says it's going down, but the Packers' chance is going up. Partly because it's not just about Jordan Love and the offense. The defense is getting after it lately, especially Rashawn Gary and the front. Kenny Clark had a throwback game on Thanksgiving. That was nice to see because he hasn't quite been himself. But Rashawn Gary wins about as much as any defensive end in the league not named Micah Parsons.
Do you remember where Rashawn Gary went to school?
Michigan.
Also Michigan. Yes, okay.
I mean, he's the man. And Jair Alexander, I know he's on the injury report. He's getting back this week, so they're getting healthier, it sounds like, in the secondary overall. And, yeah, this pass rush, I think, is going to be good enough to help out the offense.
I think it's going to be close, but I don't have them making the playoffs. It's nothing personal. It's just the fact that there's too many people on the injury report. You don't have Aaron Jones? That's a problem. What's going on in all of your wide receivers? Jaden Reed on the injury report.
This week though. This is the whole.
I'm
rest
just
of the
saying,
season.
every game matters from here on out. Yeah. This is a very important thing with Jair Alexander not playing. The secondary, I've seen them get smoked. See that? That's Amon-Ra St. Brown. That was one highlight of my Thanksgiving, which is kind of like Christmas if you're a Lions fan. But I'm looking at the opportunity here and being able to pass on them. That's going to be the heartbreaker for them.
I am going to say that Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers will make the playoffs. And yes, I say Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers because Jordan Love has been playing great as of late. These throws that he's making under pressure, when he does have time, he's dropping dimes. I'm sorry, Cynthia, we're seeing this touchdown by Christian Watson against the Lions for the fourth time today. But it's not just the Motor City Kitty. Jordan Love is playing good
it's
football.
Also
right.
The Chargers.
And as Greg pointed out, when Jordan Love was missing these throws, he was still making the right decisions. He was going in the right places. And it's just now everything's linking up. I think the Packers make it to the playoffs. But let's talk about some bubble teams, not just that we want to, that we think will make the playoffs, but we hope will make the playoffs. Who is your team, Cynthia?
The Bills. They only have a 15% chance in my models right now, which is very low. But this offense deserves to be in the play. We deserve to watch this offense in the play. We deserve to see Josh Allen is playing lights out this year. I understand there's been some turnovers, yada, yada. But if their defense had played even just a little bit better in several of these games, we would still be talking about them as Super Bowl contenders. I just think this is an offense and the ways they found. Khalil Shakir is even being good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what?
I already told you that they're making the playoffs a couple weeks ago.
Hope so.
Write this down.
I hope so.
Was Bills make the playoffs? Now the odds are even less. That's great. The Greg heads know the Bills are making the playoffs.
I'm a Greg head. I'm totally a Greg head.
I am going to take the Denver Broncos, but Greg, who do you think?
I want to see the Rams in the playoffs. This is a fun team. Matthew Stafford slinging it. And isn't it nice to see Sean McVay happy again? Just like last year was a downer. Like, this was back to the good times. What a smile. It's just like he loves the game. He loves football. When you see Sean McVay on the sidelines lately, this is the kind of vibes he's been giving off.
New dad, too.
Like a how McVay got his groove back type of vibe.
He's a new dad, too.
Yeah, and for anyone younger, that there was a movie in the 90s, How Stella Got His Groove Back, that I don't think anyone really watched, but the phrase has lived on. And this Rams offense has lived on in new form. Like they've transformed into a different sort of running team. They're fun.
So does that mean that the Packers would be out? Because I don't know if it's possible for the Packers.
I said they're both in, which would mean the Seahawks, in my mind, would be out.
Got it.
And ultimately, How Stella Got Her Groove Back is one of those soundtrack movies.
Yes.
And I didn't know let's talk about the Denver Broncos. I think the Denver Broncos are going to make the playoffs, and it's going to make a lot of those people who had like weird victory laps in the middle of the season about the early success for the Jets and maybe the relative success for the Broncos. That's all out of the window. But how about the season that Courtland Sutton is having now? A couple of years removed from that ACL injury. It was difficult for him to come back. He's a big receiver with a big frame. Well, now Courtland Sutton is back, making huge plays in big moments after big moment after big moment. And I hope the Denver Broncos are able to celebrate a berth in the playoffs. Speaking of belief, let's move on to a segment called You Buying It. I'm going to ask you guys a question about a few squads. You're going to tell me if you're buying them as playoff teams.
Okay.
So, Greg, are you buying the 7-4 Steelers as a playoff team?
Oh, yeah. I'm rolling up to the store. I'm putting the card down. I'm purchasing the Steelers. they're in. I mean, look at that number, minus 245. I think the bigger question here is, do they become the best running team in the league the rest of the season? Because the numbers would say, since they're bye in week 5, they're up there with the best of the best in terms of running the ball. Gives them an identity on offense. We know what the identity is on defense. I actually think there's a better chance, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I think there's a better chance they win the division over the Ravens than there is them missing the playoffs. Pencil them in. Wow. 5 seed. They're going to be playing wild card week.
All right, pencil it in.
Yeah.
A team that's currently in.
Pen it in.
And winners of 3 straight, the Indianapolis Colts. Cynthia, are you buying them in the playoffs?
I am selling them in the playoffs. I don't think that they are a playoff team. Not because I don't necessarily believe in their run game, because I do. But I have seen really inconsistent passing situations from them. Sometimes it looks like maybe the route wasn't the right one. Sometimes it looks like they're just not holding on to, right? And no, that's going to fall short.
Dropped it 5.
I just think you need, and especially in the AFC, the passing quotient is so important. And you can't have a team that only is really, I do believe in them running. Even this week with Zach Moss, I'm not worried about the run game at all. I'm worried about their pass catchers.
Also, Minshew often trying to throw it to the other team, not catching it all the time. That's a problem.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like the passing game is kind of smoke and mirrors. The Vikings on a bye, they have lost 2 straight there. It's 6-6 right now. Do you still believe Greg Rosenthal?
I am buying them too. I'm buying everyone.
Everybody's
it's
making the NFC.
buy. It's Christmas season. It's the holidays. We're buying things. Let's not disappoint anyone. Justin Jefferson's coming back. I almost feel like it's been not under the radar, but just we've been like, what a disappointing loss for the Vikings. They only finished 2-2 with Josh Dobbs, who just arrived there as their quarterback, without Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the game. If I had to choose just one, it's Justin Jefferson. He's going to come back after the bye with superpowers and tech. I don't even know who's got the quarterback's going to be, but I know the defense is really good.
I was about to say, is it going to be Nick Mullins?
I tend to think it's going to be Jaron Hall, who looked good for his one drive. I hope it doesn't happen because I like Josh Dobbs. But no matter who is at quarterback, you have Justin Jefferson at wide receiver.
The Seahawks, Cynthia, have lost some heartbreakers, including against the Cowboys on Thursday night. They have the final wild card spot as of right now. Are they in?
I'm buying them. I'm buying the Seahawks. I saw a lot of great things last night, but mostly I saw DK Metcalf get his Stella-like groove back last night.
Too young for that. It doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, that's Deron Bland right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But when I'm watching DK Metcalf and the routes between him and JSN and Tyler Lockett, but him and JSN specifically, sometimes it looked confusing. I don't know if maybe it wasn't, I don't know. Maybe there was some confusion. But especially because we'll probably get even healthier versions of this team in the run game. So between an increased run ability and what we saw from DK Metcalf last night, I'm buying them.
All right, there's going to be plenty of fireworks in the nation's capital Sunday with the Dolphins coming to town. Can Sam Howell and company keep pace with the Cheetah, Tua, and Waddle, and everybody? Our picks coming up next. We're back on Game Day View in the 2024 NFL Pro Bowl games presented by Verizon, taking over Orlando, and the roster is up to you. Cast your ballot for the 2024 Pro Bowl games vote and send your favorite players to compete in the ultimate AFC versus NFC showdown this February. Vote now at probowl.com/vote. It's time for some quick picks. The Dolphins and the Commanders, the greatest show on surf versus that Washington defense. Greg, what do you see today?
That Washington defense.
It's that one.
It's well said. I think the Dolphins are going to have a great time in Washington, 37-27. And I want to take you back to Week 6. This is the last time I feel like we got the full Tua Tagovailoa Dolphins offense experience of just like a fire show. They've been good. Tua's played well, but they haven't put together a complete offensive game for a while. And I think this matchup is the perfect opportunity to do so. Sometimes in life, you just want to be dazzled. Dazzle me, Tua. You know, like give it the whole
dazzle
thing.
Greg.
I'm dazzled by Hard Knocks. I'm dazzled by the coach. Like I'm dazzled by the whole thing. I'm in. I'm all in.
Dazzling sparkles. The Colts and Titans in Nashville. Indy will be missing Jonathan Taylor for this one. What takes place, Cynthia?
Well, I think that the Titans win this one at home. I only have a 22-21 victory. Why? Because you can pass on this Tennessee defense. And I want to say, when it does work, the RPOs do work. I told you I'm a little worried about their pass catchers in terms of playing in the playoffs, making the playoffs. However, RPOs, baby. When the RPOs work, it's great.
I thought I was slick taking the home underdog here with the Titans.
Clearly,
All
we're
three
not
of us
slick.
have the underdog.
You actually have the biggest margin of victory, so you're the least slick.
Greg agrees. We all agree. Let's go to the Chargers and the Patriots, where we all agree as well. Spoiler alert. Belichick declined to name a starting quarterback. Either way, I think the Chargers get the win on the road, 24-19. And I am looking back because Brandon Staley's confident against his defense. I'm confident that the Patriots are going to run a bunch of wide receiver screens. Not all of them as successful as that one. When Bailey Zappi came into the game and finished the game against the Giants, 7 of his 14 attempts were behind the line of scrimmage. I don't know how confident they are in Bailey Zappi. If Bailey Zappi plays, I think we're going to see a lot of the same. Up next, write this down. We have some predictions, some of them very bold for Week 13. Stick around and find out.
Mine's not bold at all.
Get your game day started Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern with NFL Game Day Morning.
Touchdown! The Eagles win!
Jalen Hurts willed the Eagles to another improbable win on Sunday, but will their luck run out with San Francisco coming to town? Kurt Warner breaks down how the Niners can beat the Birds. Devontae Smith was a huge part of Philadelphia's win last week. This week, he sits down with our Hall of Fame receiver, Michael Irvin. Plus, it's crowded atop the AFC with the Ravens, Chiefs, Jags, and Dolphins all having 3 losses. We'll explain who has the inside track at the #1 seed and who needs it most. All that and much more Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Looking forward to that, and we've been looking forward to write this down all day as we've got some predictions for you that we feel really, really good about for Week 13. Greg, what is yours?
You know, when I want a great number, I go to the queen, the model, Cynthia Freeland, and she told me the Saints' rush defense over the last 4 weeks are 25th in her model in terms of win shares allowed, and Jahmyr Gibbs is going up against him this week, and he's got to go over 76.5 scrimmage yards. I threw the scrimmage yards in there because I want the safety of a big receiving play. That's more fun to root for as well, because when I look at Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't need any numbers to figure this out. He's really, really fast, and this defense is really, really slow as defenses go. I've got some more numbers for you. 164, 156, 125,
Lottery.
228. These are not the numbers of a surprisingly good bowling performance by me. No, it's their rush defense every week, the Saints. So they're just
Yikes.
give it up. That's bad.
Remember when they were so good against the run?
So good.
Things have changed. Cynthia?
Okay, are you, this is a spicy one. You ready?
Oh, I like spice.
Kyle Pitts. You know how many touchdowns he's had this year?
1?
Yep. Do you know how many he's going to have after this week?
2.
Yay. Kyle Pitts is scoring a touchdown. You know why? Because Arthur Smith hates your fantasy team, and there's no other reason than that. No, but ultimately, the Jets' defense is vulnerable to the tight end position. Arthur Smith knows that. Desmond Ridder knows that. Even Bijan Robinson knows that. So ultimately, this is going to be an opportunity. By the way,
give me that touchdown one more time.
Wait, this is the same touchdown.
Yeah, you know why?
75 different angles.
Everyone.
How do we have that many angles?
It's beautiful. And it's not going to be in London. It'll be just, last year he had one in London. That was like his first one. Anyways.
I was there for that. How do we have that many angles on Kyle Pitts' one touchdown, and we can't put a camera on every end zone?
I wanted to see the Skycam angle as well. My write this down is the fact that Brian Robinson Jr. will have over 41.5 rushing yards against the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins defense giving up a respectable, less than 4 yards per carry on the season, but I think they pound Brian Robinson trying to keep the offense off the field. And Brian Robinson Jr. has been having some great games also through the air. I would take the air caveat, but I feel confident, unlike Greg in his Jahmyr Gibbs pick.
What are you talking about?
Just keep it ground only.
I'm so confident. I'm confident. In fact, here's what else you can write down. All 3 of us are getting to write this down right this week. We'll come back, we'll revisit it, and we'll honk and we'll brag.
Yeah. Let's get that.
I mean, if
Kyle Pitts touchdown.
I win the whole thing then.
Yeah, we can put the crown on Cynthia if that pick
I will give you
comes
the
up
crown.
right. We'll see you next week on Game Day View. Thanks for watching, everybody.